Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Nick. My name is Dr. Nick Schmilkoffer, and I work for the Neurologic Wellness Institute here in downtown Chicago. And today, on today's episode, we are going to talk about how should I exercise? And exercise is such this big topic. Everyone should be doing it. We know that we're always told that, eat well and exercise, and we're going to be all right. And but everyone that comes in to either see me or friends that I have always ask, like, how should I exercise? And to me, I think that all depends on your goal. Everybody has different goals, whether that is to maybe run a marathon or build some strength, build some muscle. Do they just want exercise for weight loss, or they want exercise for relaxation? It all depends. And so today we're not really going to talk about any of that. About those specific goals. We're also not really going to talk about specific exercise for specific conditions, whether that be if you're dizzy or if you have headaches or any of those things. I may talk about some papers that are about specific conditions, but I'm more going to address how you should exercise for general health and general brain health. Because I think that is really important that everybody should look into, and that there are many different ways we can exercise. And in order to be a well-rounded person, my opinion is to exercise in a variety of ways, and to be a well-rounded person that can have a well-rounded benefits, well adaptable and neuroplastic brain in the process. And so I don't think that somebody should just do simple cardio, and someone shouldn't just do resistance training, strength training. We shouldn't just do a bunch of yoga. We shouldn't just do low intensity training, or we shouldn't just do high intensity training. There should be a mix between everything. At the same time, I want to clarify right from the beginning that we should never over exercise either. Over exercise, especially if we're doing a lot of high intensity training or high resistance training, is going to cause inflammation. When we work our muscles, we are producing inflammation, but our body is then going to repair that inflammation and then go for recovery, and that recovery helps build us back stronger and better. And so if we over exercise and don't recover, don't have that ability to recover, there is never going to be any of that beneficial effects of exercise. Instead, you're just going to slowly deteriorate due to inflammation from yourself. And so eating well to decrease inflammation, recovery time, sleeping well is always important as well. So to start, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 4 different articles that are just kind of showing benefits of multiple different kinds of exercise for your brain. And then I'm going to give my basic exercise weekly protocol that I think can be good for anybody, especially if you don't have that much time to exercise during your day. So let's go to the first paper. The first paper is going to be on how low intensity versus high intensity exercise affects brain networks. And so this paper, I didn't get the real copy of it. I just got the unauthored proof, so I'm sorry about that. But this is a 2017 paper that, like I said, is looking at how does acute exercise intensity, whether it's low or high, change the brain. And so this paper looked at the resting state functional connectivity within the brain, cognitive, sensory motor, and affective networks. So basically mental, physical, and emotional networks in the brain, all dealing with health. And so it looked at low versus high intensity. And then it looked at basically these different networks, like the frontal parietal network, the affective reward network, the sensory motor network. And it found that low intensity exercise increased this resting state functional connectivity in the frontal parietal network of the left and right sides, while high intensity exercise decreased in the sensory motor network and the dorsal attention network, but then increased it in the affective reward network. So all this is saying, there's a lot of words there, but all this is saying is that low intensity exercise may be more beneficial for, here it is, low intensity exercise may be more beneficial for cognitive and attentional processing because of that frontal parietal network increase, okay? Basically, frontal parietal network is just your network working on either side of your brain, and that's important for your attentional processing. And so low intensity may be good for that right afterwards. On the other hand, high intensity actually increase the affective reward network, which is important in making endogenous opioid mediated, so reward mediated states. And so that's why after doing a hard, high intensity exercise, you kind of feel good about yourself. And we increase that reward mechanism, which could be very beneficial for promoting more exercise in the future. But at the same time, it decreased this functional connectivity in the sensory motor, which is basically where we feel our senses. And that may just signify that there was motor fatigue after doing a very high intensity exercise. And so I just want to show you how low versus high can really affect the brain. And this is where I was saying that if you exercise too much, especially too much high intensity, we get this chronic decrease in connectivity in your sensory motor cortex, which can lead to continued fatigue, continual inflammation, and therefore you're not really repairing. And so I think we should get a combination of both low and high intensity to activate these specific areas. But that depends in what state and how much during the week, right? So the next paper we're going to look at is more on Parkinson's. And this is a paper from 2013. And so it's looking at exercise interventions in Parkinson's disease. But I think this can be related to a lot of people. And so with Parkinson's disease, they look at goal-based skill training. So basically in exercise, you want to have a goal. You want to search for a certain amount of reps or do an activity for this length and time. Or if you're running, you're trying to get a mile in less time than you did the first time. It's a goal-based. Then at the same time, with Parkinson's disease, they looked at aerobic exercise and how it can improve blood flow and therefore facilitate neuroplasticity in the elderly. And so they looked at how we can combine goal-based activity with aerobic activity to improve these cognitive and automatic portions of someone's motor control patterns. And this is why it would help Parkinson's. But let's just look at a few aspects of this. So we said goal-based, okay? We want to look at goal-based exercise and setting a goal. And so here are just some types of exercise that have been talked about. So prefrontal or frontal lobe areas are important in cognition. And so having goal-based in motor learning can help with that. And then, so things that have been looked at for types of exercise with Parkinson's or just in general that can improve those frontal lobes are treadmill training with a goal, amplitude training, so big, long movements, Tai Chi, which can help with grounding and balance, dancing, especially the tango, because they're fast movements with some amplitude, boxing again, high intensity and more fast movements to activate that frontal lobe, and then forced cycling or bicycling to a certain degree, right? And so all of these have been studied along with other aerobic activities to have benefits in Parkinson's disease. And we're working on a lot of these circuits, and we're working to activate mostly this frontal lobe, but then also the basal ganglia. And by having sensory input from exercise, we're getting good motor output. So that's what we're just kind of looking at there. So here it just kind of says Tai Chi focuses on dynamic postural control, helping with center of gravity. We have dance and tango and boxing can help with the cognitive engagement, along with cueing and increasing attention for music and rhythm. Boxing can incorporate dynamic balance and with the multi-directional movements. And so combining these goal-based practices with aerobic training can be very beneficial. Okay, so let's now go down a few pages to the benefits. And so here we have exercise, both goal-based and aerobic-based, can increase synaptic strength in the brain by increasing neurotransmitters, receptor density, basically increasing neuroplasticity. And it can also improve brain health by, again, increasing blood flow, helping the immune system, increasing cell growth or making new cells. And all of this can help strengthen the circuitry that is important in movement, in cognition, in the emotional circuit as well, and through all of these areas. And this can then improve a lot of things with Parkinson's, improve behavior like motor behavior, cognitive behavior, and mood and motivation. And even though this is designed to look at Parkinson's, I think this is really important to look at in everybody. Okay, so it's that one. The next one is looking at resistance training. And so resistance training, this paper is from 2019, and looked at how resistance training can help with cognitive improvements. And so during the aging process, we have loss of cognitive function. We also have loss of muscular strength, because in the elderly, we start losing muscle because it's hard to continue to make muscle, and we don't absorb as much protein. And so there has been a relationship connected with cognition and muscular strength as we age. And so we think that maybe including resistance exercise and resistance training could help prevent from cognitive loss. And so this review article said that there has been evidence that there are structural and functional changes in the brain, especially the frontal lobe, for those executive functions. And it decreases other brain losses as well. And so there wasn't many, basically they said there were not as many studies to look from, and so we need to look at more. But the basis behind this that I think is really important is that if we lose muscle mass, we stop moving as well because we get sore, we can't actually be as active. If we can't be as active, we lose stimulation to our brain. So I think resistance training should also be included in your weekly exercise routine. And lastly, we have yoga. And so this article is just looking at all the evidence for yoga in neurological disorders. And so yoga is a super important activity that can help with mind and body connection and maybe decreasing stress relief and relaxation. Now, a lot of people don't like doing yoga, but for the ones that do, I think it should be included. And I think people that don't like yoga, they should try it a little bit here and there. And I'm just going to kind of run through this really fast and how yoga has been shown for improvements in stroke, improvements in post-stroke aphasia, basically difficulty talking after a stroke, yoga for Parkinson's disease, yoga for multiple sclerosis has been shown to be effective, yoga in epilepsy, also effective. And these are all the benefits here in that multiple sclerosis: decreased or improved muscle relaxation, improved balance, improved muscle strength, flexibility, decreases in pain, lowering blood pressure, depression, anxiety, so many things that yoga can be beneficial for in those multiple sclerosis patients. Yoga for Alzheimer's, yoga for headaches and migraines, yoga for dementia. And so again, there are many benefits here of yoga, and even yoga for traumatic brain injury, and some other ones here. So like I said, I think yoga can be another benefit, another addition into a weekly exercise routine. So I just came up with a general exercise routine that can be employed that is going to involve all of these aspects for general brain health. And so I think everyone should work out for at least 30 minutes a day. And that exercise doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be a specific, I need to have these 30 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be the same time. It doesn't have to be any routine necessarily. But if you can get into a routine, it makes it a lot easier. And so here, if we can exercise for 30 minutes a day, I have Monday as like a resistance day, so more of strength a low intensity strength day where you do full body lifts with weights, and you have a longer rest, which is why it's lower intensity. And you can follow that up with 30 minutes the next day of aerobic training. Aerobic training, more moderate intensity, like a fast walk, a light jog, some biking, maybe on the row machine or swimming, any kind of aerobic activity there. Wednesday then would be back to resistance training. But this time, rather than doing strength, we do a high intensity interval training. So we have some higher intensity followed by some little bit of relaxation, and higher intensity, relaxation. And so this could be a body weight or a light resistance with, again, minimal rest. Whether it's like you do 30 seconds of activity and then 30 seconds of rest, or you do a 4-minute circuit where you're constantly moving, and then you have a 1-minute break. Just, again, minimal rest. And this high intensity training day might not be 30 minutes. It might be only 20 minutes, because if in order to go at that high intensity, you might not be able to make it a full 30 minutes. And Thursday would be like a restorative day. This is a low to moderate intensity. It could be an aerobic day like cardio. It could be yoga. It could be Tai Chi. It could be some sort of movement flow that could incorporate yoga. It could be a freestyle day like, hey, I'm feeling good, I'm going to go dance, and just dance for 30 minutes. Friday would be back to resistance day and a strength. So kind of like that Monday where you're doing the full body lifts, longer rest. Saturday goes back to an aerobic day, but this time, rather than the aerobic day being a moderate intensity, it's back to another high intensity. So we're doing 2 times of high intensity interval training. This could be like jogging for 30 seconds, walking for 10, or running for 15 seconds, jog for 40 seconds. And you just keep repeating that for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long it takes. You could run up the stairs and then walk down the stairs. You could walk every other stair and run every other stair and then walk back down. You could do some boxing where we're getting these full body movements, but it's relatively aerobic, and then you kind of take a little break and do it again. And then lastly, Sunday is another restorative day, again, for that recovery portion. A low to moderate intensity, that light walk, the yoga, Tai Chi, or freestyle. And so this, I think, is just a good general outlook of how you can incorporate multiple forms of exercise into your week and therefore improve brain health in many ways. At the same time, I think you should be building in non-exercise, so non-designed, like I need to go exercise, but non-exercise forms of movement into your day, like park farther away and walk longer. Use the stairs instead of using the elevator. Walk 10 minutes after lunch, or maybe do 10 bodyweight squats before every meal, just to get more movement in. So this was kind of a longer one, so I'm sorry about that, but I think exercise is super important for our physical and mental health, and to help support brain health. And so I think that we should be doing more of diverse exercise training during our daily life. And that is why I came up with just that little slight cardio / low intensity, high intensity strength training versus cardio workout plan. And so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them below. If you have any suggestions for new topics, please leave them as well. Get out there and move today and stay healthy. Thank you.